Steve, you and I checked out a demo for ViewFinder on Steam Next Fest, but now we're back with the full version. We're looking forward to this one. You were a little bit more hyped than I was. I came off a little lukewarm with the demo, and I gotta be honest, I'm still lukewarm on the full game as well. This isn't something that really clicked as much as I was really hoping for. The puzzles, some of them are standouts, some of them are just missed completely. The story has me just kind of okay, just going through the motions. I was just hoping for a little bit more to get going into ViewFinder. The way the demo started, I felt like we were missing something. Dude, after wrapping up the game, I still feel like I'm missing something. Like, not much has changed coming off that demo. If you play the demo, yo, you're pretty much in it for the same thing. There were certain moments I thought they did really well when it came to some of the puzzle design. So they really set themselves up for certain levels to then expand on in the future, getting into other later levels. Overall game though, not that long, right? There's 5 open worlds there. Well, I wouldn't say open, but puzzle worlds, and which then have multiple acts within them. So you're going to be here for a few hours overall, depending on how long some of these puzzles will take you. But I found the puzzles, see the learning curve on the puzzles were like up and down for me. At moments, I thought, okay, cool, I'm nailing it, moving on. And then there's other puzzles I'm like, this doesn't make any sense whatsoever. We once again have a character who doesn't say a word. We get spoken to through a cat, through Jessie, who's like our, I almost want to call her like our handler in a sense. Yeah. Basically, she just calls us on the phone and just kind of radios in every now and then. And then we get other mixed messages throughout the story as well to help try and push us into what the simulation is all about. I'm not going to go any further than that because I don't want to give away the overall story. But for me, dude, I felt just very, very underwhelmed throughout this entire experience. What about yourself, Steve?
Yep. As you mentioned, we played it as a demo, and I was a little bit more hyped because I like the puzzle aspect of the thing. Sure. And the connection we both missed was because we didn't have the cutscenes or what the really story was about, which we knew it was coming. Yeah. And to be honest with you, playing the game, I'm still just as lost as when I played the demo because they don't give you too much information of what's going on. You are going in, teleported into these worlds. The best way I could kind of describe it, like the graphics of it, it kind of reminded me of this I was playing a VR game because the art style was very simplistic, but it done the job. You know, everything was laid out and good, but it was very Quest 2 kind of graphic style for me. If you know what I mean. And I could probably see this being ported to maybe VR because it was probably still working that way. Sure. The puzzle situation is some bits just jumps right in front of you. Some of them does take a little bit of figuring out. But I will say one thing. I believe I had a glitch on one of the puzzles. And it's basically when you have to take a photograph from a still photo, a camera that's fixed, and you take a picture of, looks like a battery that's behind the cage. And then the idea is you take the picture, go to the pad, drop it onto the battery to charge up the teleporter, and then away you go. But I was getting this cylinder, and it looks like a picture on half the side, and then black on the other side. And after keep rewinding, which we'll talk about in a minute, the rewind process, is you can rewind and go back to the beginning again, or the certain checkpoints, was all of a sudden, the full battery appeared. I took the picture, went over, turned it upside down, the battery fell out and landed on the platform and away I went. Yeah. But I wasted 30 minutes with this glitch and to be honest with you, it was kind of making me disconnect from the game.
No, absolutely. I actually had the game crash on me. You and I both played on the PS5. It is available for PC as well. So I think it's two things, right? I think some people are really going to dig this. I'm a big fan of puzzle games. Man, this one just wasn't for me at the end of the day. I really felt a big disconnect. Some of the moments from the demo, I thought, okay, cool, we're gonna tap into some of these pictures because some of these pictures come up and they're a unique art style, and you dive into these. Dude, that was it. What you saw in the demo was it. And I kind of thought, I was expecting a lot more of that experience coming into the full game, and it wasn't there at all. They had this beautiful pixelated castle scene in the demo, right? And you get to that point within the story too, but that is it, and that was gone. I'm like, where's the rest of this kind of experience coming over? And I felt there was just a missed opportunity with a lot of it, from the storytelling itself to some of the puzzle mechanics and the way the puzzles performed. Again, right, high moments for some of these puzzles where I thought were like some of the best puzzles I've ever played. And then I've had lows going, this doesn't make any sense at all. I felt like, you know, when you play a point and click adventure game and you just eventually you go, I don't know what to do, and you scroll back and forth until your pointer like goes from a pointer to a hand, and you click on it. I felt at moments I was doing that, just trying to figure out what to do, because nothing made logical sense to get me to solve the puzzle, because nothing was kind of introduced. Even though you have this companion who is talking to you as you're in this world, there wasn't no setup in that. And I get that sometimes you don't want to be handheld, but just some of the puzzle solving didn't make any sense at all. I was just like, this is just weird.
And I still couldn't figure out why you pick up collectibles like tiles and things. I don't know what the point of that is, because it's not really an achievement. Is you pick up an apple or something and you don't use it for anything else.
No.
The one thing I will touch on as well, which I did think was a cool feature, that if you're struggling with the puzzle or you mess something up, was the rewind button.
Sure.
I thought that was a cool idea. Like, it's like a video, you just hit rewind, it will take you back to where you started off, which is a cool feature of the game.
Steve, I'm wrapping ViewFinder up with a 6. Unfortunately for me, it just didn't click. I think it's not going to click for a few, but it's definitely going to click for some. It's just one of those games going to be interesting to see where it lands overall. I think the puzzles were there first, and then the story added afterwards. So it kind of left me in this bit of a weird space and a bit of a disconnect. How about you?
Yeah, I'm giving ViewFinder a 7. I enjoyed the puzzle stuff. You can get a bit of achievement when you actually do complete this.
Yeah.
The other characters, I couldn't connect with them because I didn't really know what the story was really about. I got a bit of an inkling, but it wasn't much in depth. And like you said, it was like the puzzles first, then the story and the characters thrown in after, just to give it a bit of volume, which for me, it did not work.
That's quite the clever solution.